Have you ever wondered if there is another version of yourself living somewhere in this world? Someone whose face is so similar to yours that it is impossible to tell the difference. Today, I will tell you a story about a person who had a terrifying encounter when he met his own version and the unimaginable consequences that happened. My story begins not long ago, when I was still living a normal life like everyone else. I was a rather introverted person, did not like noise, and rarely communicated. I worked in a small company with only a few close colleagues. Everything was peaceful until one day, when I was walking in the park near my house, what I could not have expected was that I met a person who looked exactly like me. It was a strange feeling at that time. That person stood at the end of the deserted road, wearing a gray coat, and looked exactly like me, from his face, his height, to the way he stood. I stood still, unable to believe my eyes. It felt like there was a ghost watching me, or someone trying to play a trick on me. At first, I thought I had seen someone who looked strangely like me. But no, I realized that it was me, another version of myself, standing there, motionless. A feeling of fear began to spread through me, and I couldn't explain it. I was lost in my thoughts, wondering if this was a dream, or if I was hallucinating. I couldn't take my eyes off him, but something strange was happening. He just stood there, looking at me. I tried to speak, but I couldn't get the words out. And then from his side, I heard a voice. "Who do you think you are?" I could barely breathe when I heard that sentence. The question rang out like a warning. Was it a trap? Suddenly, he stepped closer, and I couldn't back away. My legs froze, unable to move. It felt like I was being sucked into a bottomless pit, and his words kept echoing in my head. At that moment, I knew one thing for sure. This was no coincidence. This was a sign of something great and dangerous. That person, it was me, but completely different. He didn't seem like the person I was used to, but a dark, scheming clone. I could feel the malice in his eyes. As he got closer, I began to feel pain. A sharp pain shot through my body as if I was being torn apart from the inside. It was a feeling I had never experienced before. I hurried to run, but every step felt like it was being hindered, as if someone was pulling me back. And then he said, "Where are you going?" It was a cold sentence, but I understood that everything I was going through was the result of meeting myself, a dark shadow of myself, a part of me that I didn't want to face. But now, it was all too late. I ran to a secluded corner of the park, where there was no one but me and that shadow. The pain was still there, but I knew I had to face it. I turned around, standing face to face with my double. Although I was scared, I knew that this was the decisive moment. It was not only a physical battle, but also a psychological battle between my dark self and my true self. At that moment, I realized that in order to end everything, I had to end this double's existence, not by running away, but by facing and reconciling. No matter how difficult it was, I had to admit my dark side, and that was the only way to end this nightmare. Now, when I think back, I still can't understand what happened, but I learned a profound lesson. We cannot run away from ourselves, and sometimes we have to face the dark things inside us to escape the fear. So, what do you think about this story? Is there really another version of ourselves out there? Or is it just a dark part of ourselves that we don't want to face? Leave your comments below this video, and don't forget to like and share if you find this story interesting. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next scary stories.